Happy full moon in Capricorn. Here we go, another video just like this. 2 weeks later, we're popped out on the full moon. And these lunation cycles are powerful seeding times. The more and more I'm processing life, the more I realize the seeds that I planted years ago are just now starting to germinate. So when we use these kind of powerful new moon, full moon, lunation energetics to plant seeds, to sow our seeds, we really don't know when the seeds actually grow. But we know that these new moons and full moons are potent times to sow intentions, sow seeds of our future. My numerologist here locally in the Bloomington, Indiana area says, we plant the seeds, God grows the corn, So I really like that, however you perceive God, or, maybe the word is not correct for some of us, source energy, however you want to, explain the force field that grows the corn. It's like, okay, the humans plant the seeds, God provides the rain and the sun and the elements for the corn to grow. Anyway, I thought that was clever. And so we use these timings of the month to allow for the heightened levels of energy to really sow these seeds in rich, fertile energetics. And it's a wonderful way to just synchronize the mind and the visionary experience with the here and the now. So anyway, looks like we're going to be getting another storm here. I'm kind of capturing the last light of the day here. It's Tuesday, June 26th. The full moon is tomorrow. And are you all feeling it? This is attention, energy, right? Gosh, I'm really pulling up some deep, like, subconscious shadow stuff in dreamland. At least last night was strong. And in my mind, as my mental activity yesterday was very, like, there was heat, there was friction. And I think a lot of people are kind of feeling the tension of this lunation cycle, and I'll talk a little bit about why that potentially could be. They're just suggestions of possibilities of why we might be feeling a little bit, but also there's some beautiful things happening too. Okay, so just talk about the full moon in Capricorn. Capricorn is the 10th house in the zodiac. It's ruled by Saturn. Its symbol is the mountain goat. Okay, so the mountain goat, like, how does the mountain goats are very agile, up mountain climbers, right? They're hard workers, they're strong, they're pretty committed and dedicated, right? And, the Capricorn energy is, kind of laying the foundation brick by brick by brick, okay? And the full moon is illuminating the conjunction with Saturn in Capricorn. And Saturn is the planet that rules time. It's the rings of Saturn, it's kind of this, like, I don't want to say like constrictor. I mean, it's like beautiful. The rings of Saturn, I mean, it's just like magnificent. The energy of Saturn, okay? My sun is conjunct Saturn in Libra, so I know the rules and limitations that Saturn is, but in a way, it is kind of like a protection energy, so that we don't just throw our seeds to the wind and see what catches and just like fly with the wind and get an idea and just like go and relocate and move without, with reckless abandon. And okay, well, maybe that works out too. Speaking from experience with Saturn on my son, that doesn't quite work out with me. There needs to be there always is, even if I don't have the plan, the universe, Saturn's rings shows me a limitation or boundary to protect my dharmic path, okay? So Saturn is a bit more like, kind of like paternal in energy. It is, that boundary setter, the rules and limitations of the game. And the interesting thing about that is there really aren't rules and limitations of the game, but there's certain levels of mastery, right? So it's like, okay, if you get to this certain step, you master that zone, and then boom, you can be ready for that next step. Okay, so that's kind of how I perceive Saturn's energy to be, as kind of like a protection, but some can also be perceived as limitation. So the moon is conjunct Saturn in Capricorn. Saturn rules Capricorn. It's in its home sign. So there might be this feeling of kind of constriction energy, but it's almost like this karmic protection, that something might be happening to wake you up, that the foundation that you're laying is actually unstable. And it's illuminating some sort of tough lesson to get things in a foundation that's incorporating body, mind, heart, and soul, right? If we're slacking on any one of these four pillars, Saturn's going to show us through a sickness, through some sort of crises, if we're not catching it ourselves with our own intuition, that hey, check yourself. You are building on unsteady ground. So this full moon can really be illuminating what's not working in the foundation. And, there might be, quite a few things that aren't working. Okay, then we also have Mars in Aquarius retrograding. Okay, so Mars is only goes retrograde every 2 point something years. So it's not often in this kind of backpedaling motion. Mars likes to be pushing forward and projecting its energy out in manifestation mode. And the Mars in Aquarius, I believe it's also conjunct the south node of the moon, but I'm not going to go into that interpretation too much. But just Aquarius is the future. Aquarius is the vision of global humanity and global humanity's seat in the Galactic Council. It's like human contact with life beyond human life, beyond the earth sphere. And so it's the future ideas, the future self, that we're reaching towards emerging with. And Mars is really animating its energy through Aquarius right now, but it's retrograding. So there's kind of this Mars the passion, the fire, the manifestation energy is retrograding. So we're reviewing our projection of future self. And that's kind of putting on the brakes and reverse kind of energy, right? So that can be a little bit of a tension as well. We have this beautiful trine of water signs. We have Neptune in Pisces. We've got Venus in Cancer. And we've got Jupiter in Scorpio. Okay? And So this Neptune in Pisces is teaching us about shit's getting tough down here. Our foundations are not steady, not sturdy, not incorporating body, mind, heart, and soul, this holistic model. This isn't working what we've been doing. We got Neptune and Pisces. It's like, oh, reach for the divine. Communicate with your higher self. Communicate like with source. Communicate with the archangels. Pray for the higher guidance. Pray for the intuition. Pray for the signs and the synchronicities to come in and support the restructuring, the rebuilding of life, of your miracle of life. And then we've got Venus in Cancer. Venus, like Aphrodite, like the goddess of love and of beauty and of relationship and abundance and creation. It's like earth love, like abundance flowing. And in that Cancer, that lunar watery element of Cancer, that's like really showing us like follow the intuition with your relations, with yourself, with the earth, with each other. Breathe in the moon. Let the lunar energy come in and like restore you and illuminate your mind and illuminate your heart and connect the mind to the heart. So this Venus is not in a direct opposition to the full moon, but it's there in the opposite zodiac sign at least. So we've got this like Neptune in Pisces in its home sign, and then we've got Venus happy as can be in Cancer, okay? And then we've got Jupiter in Scorpio, and Scorpio is mastery, and it plunges us into the deep depths of the subconscious and requires alchemical transformation to survive it. It's the plunge, and it is the dark waters, This is like beyond the light of the, what's visible on the surface of the waters. This is the deep water. And Jupiter's retrograding. Jupiter expands whatever it's touching. So Donna's got to talk to the neighbor dog. Okay, so Jupiter is in Scorpio, plunging into those deep waters of self-mastery, but Jupiter's retrograding. So it's like, okay, what again? Sedona, come here. Come here. Hey, calma. I kind of lost my train of thought. I was in Jupiter and Scorpio. Jupiter's retrograding, so there is this kind of like, again, like a review process of what is really being called to be personally transformed, to master something, some piece of you that's not functioning optimally. Something that has been hidden in your subconscious, some shadow that you're ashamed of, that you're embarrassed of, that you keep quiet, you keep zipped up, you suppress, you repress, you stuff it in. And this Jupiter retrograde in Scorpio is like, grab that shit and turn it to gold. It's your shadow, but it's your gift. And when you can take that density and acknowledge it, admit it to yourself, bring it into your breath and start to do healing work. Contact it and work the shit out of it. It will be your gift. It is your gift. But it's like when it's hidden, suppressed, it becomes your worst enemy. It's like the fear, it's the fear. And oh my gosh, my dreams last night, it was just like all the fears were present. I mean, you wouldn't even believe. It was something else. I mean, I should do a video on it just to like talk about my dream. It was like death, turbulent, I mean, like facing death in several ways, whatever. I mean, it was unbelievable. Um, so we have this beautiful water trine. So this alchemical transformation is supported by this Venetian energy. It's like goddess love energy in Cancer, and this divine love energy in Pisces. All of this, it's like, let's transform our density to love ourselves and love life like we never even knew we could express was possible. Or maybe we like looked to others or even like deities that express this potential and possibility of what abundance and love and divine play and celebration and like worship almost of life can look like. It's like, no, like it's not just for the deities and for the gods, it's for like the humans to be and breathe and experience that. Okay? And so when Mars is retrograding, it's like, yeah, we do need to check our projection and passion and manifestation and la la la, like what is that future self we're really moving toward? We've got a cacophony of dogs. What is that future self that we're really moving towards? And like, let's make sure we're not projecting the past self onto the future self, that we are really taking ourselves through the alchemical transformation and like rebuilding the foundation with body, mind, heart, soul, higher self, spirit, source, earth, like being the conduit, being the vessel that channels the light for the illumination of your own soul signature, for the illumination of your own, like, just like worship of like your like aliveness of your brain and your spine and your heart and your organs and just like life, and being the container that receives the codes, the information for your life to shine in the most like resonant and self-loving way. And if you're getting pain signals on the body, mind, heart, soul level, this is the time to really transform your shadow into your gift and be proactive about setting boundaries. Be proactive about scheduling those appointments, taking those walks, eating the right food, like saying the words that need to be said, and taking care of life itself, your very own, essential self, the essence of you. Okay, so, and this like dredging up of the subconscious muck and funk, like it can get funky. It is funky, like the subconscious programming, like the shadow of the consciousness is funky, okay? And don't be scared of it. It's dark, it can be ugly, it can be haunting, but it's like, see it, witness it, and shine your light on it, and set the boundaries. It's amazing how many boundaries I set with my fears last night in dreamland. It was something else. Anyway, so use that Saturn energy and set your boundaries with time, with people, with your mind, the way you think, and lay healthy foundation that's really going to be that container of complete alchemical transformation that is in that goddess love energy, is in the divine illumination energy. And be easy on yourself in the process, because it's tender work. I mean, I'm like talking strong and solid right now, but I mean, earlier today I was in tears. You know, I mean, there's so many waves in one day. So just be easy on yourself and ride those waves. You know, when the tears come, let them flow. When you feel strong, move with that energy. You know, just let your intuition flow in your system. Okay, I've been talking for 20 minutes. I hope it resonates, and if I just met you over the weekend at the chakra workshop, thank you so much for showing up. I'm so excited. I had some big takeaways from this weekend, and I'm excited to bring to you all what those takeaways were when they're ready to be spoken. But definitely more to come, more on the horizon, lots of creation energy, seeds that I planted years ago. I'm like, wow, I think I have the energy now to watch them grow. So, okay. Much love to you all. Happy full moon. For a spiritual guidance session, I'm running a special $55 for the month of July. These are hour-long sessions, and they can be conversational support. We can do oracle readings with the tarot. We can go into meditation, combination of all three of those things. So it's very intuitive, and contact me if you want to start that conversation with setting up your session. Okay? Much love to you all, and take a deep breath in and out, and in and out, and in and out. Happy full moon.